If you've ever wondered how Stoic philosophy can help you improve your relationships, this video is for you. We're going to explore how you can apply Stoic principles to love, friendship, and setting healthy boundaries, so you can create relationships that are not only fulfilling but also aligned with your values. Step 1. Understanding Amor Fati, loving fate in relationships. One of the core concepts in Stoicism is Amor Fati, which means love of fate. It's about embracing everything that happens in your life, good, bad, and everything in between, as necessary and meaningful parts of your journey. But how does this apply to relationships? In the context of relationships, means accepting the people in your life exactly as they are, rather than trying to change them to fit your expectations. It's about loving others not for who you wish they were, but for who they truly are, flaws and all. This doesn't mean you should tolerate harmful behavior, but it does mean letting go of the desire to control or fix the people you care about. Think about it. How often do we get frustrated because someone doesn't act the way we think they should? A partner isn't as communicative as we'd like. A friend doesn't show up when we need them, or a family member has habits that drive us crazy. The Stoics would encourage us to practice Amor Fati in these situations, to accept that everyone is on their own path, and that their actions and choices are theirs to make. When you start to practice Amor Fati in your relationships, you'll find that you're less stressed and more at peace. You're no longer trying to mold others to fit your ideal. You're embracing them as they are and focusing on what you can control, your own actions and reactions. Step 2. The importance of friendship. The Stoics placed a high value on friendship, but they believe that true friendship should be based on virtue. In other words, your closest relationships should be with people who share your values and who inspire you to be the best version of yourself. This doesn't mean you should only be friends with people who think exactly like you, but it does mean being mindful of the company you keep. The Stoics believe that we're influenced by the people we surround ourselves with, so it's important to choose friends who uplift you, challenge you, and help you grow. Take a moment to think about your closest friendships. Do these relationships support your personal growth and well-being? Are they based on mutual respect and shared values? If so, these are the connections worth nurturing. But if you find that some friendships are draining or pulling you away from your values, it might be time to reevaluate those relationships. The Stoics also emphasize the importance of being a good friend yourself. This means showing up for the people you care about, being honest, and holding yourself to the same standards you expect from others. True friendship, according to the Stoics, is a two-way street, built on mutual respect, trust, and the desire to help each other become better people. Step 3. Setting boundaries, maintaining your inner peace. One of the most challenging aspects of relationships is setting and maintaining healthy boundaries. Whether it's with a partner, a friend, or a family member, boundaries are essential for protecting your mental and emotional well-being. The Stoics understood this well. They believe that while we should care deeply about others, we shouldn't let their actions or opinions disturb our inner peace. This is where boundaries come in. They're the lines we draw to protect our sense of self, our values, and our emotional health. Setting boundaries doesn't mean building walls or cutting people off. It means being clear about what you will and won't tolerate, and communicating that calmly and respectfully. For example, if a friend constantly cancels plans at the last minute, it's okay to let them know how that affects you, and to set a boundary about your time. The key is to set boundaries not from a place of anger or frustration, but from a place of self-respect and care for the relationship. The Stoics would remind us that it's not selfish to prioritize our own well-being. It's necessary. After all, you can't pour from an empty cup. By maintaining healthy boundaries, you're ensuring that your relationships are balanced, respectful, and nurturing for both parties. Step 4. Practicing detachment. The Stoics also taught the importance of practicing detachment in relationships. Not detachment in the sense of being cold or distant, but in the sense of loving deeply without becoming overly attached to the outcomes or the need to control. This is where the idea of preferred indifference comes in. The Stoics believe that relationships, like all external things, are preferred indifference, things that are good and desirable, but not necessary for your inner peace and happiness. This doesn't mean you shouldn't care about your relationships. Far from it. It means you should care deeply, but not base your entire sense of self-worth or happiness on them. For example, you can love your partner with all your heart, but also recognize that your happiness doesn't solely depend on them. You can value your friendships immensely, but also know that you'll be okay if one of those friendships changes or ends. Practicing detachment allows you to love more freely and fully, because you're not holding on so tightly that you end up suffocating the relationship. You're able to enjoy the connection for what it is, without the fear of losing yourself or being devastated if things don't go as planned. Step 5. Reflecting on your role. Finally, the Stoics would encourage us to regularly reflect on our own behavior in relationships. It's easy to focus on what others are doing wrong, but what about us? Are we living up to our own values? Are we being the kind of partner friend, or family member we aspire to be. Stoicism is all about self-improvement, and this applies to relationships too. Take time to reflect on your actions and interactions. Are you communicating clearly and respectfully? Are you showing empathy and understanding? Are you being patient and kind, even when it's difficult? By focusing on being the best version of yourself in your relationships, you naturally elevate the quality of those connections. You're not just expecting others to meet certain standards. You're holding yourself to those same standards. Remember, relationships are a two-way street. The more you invest in being a positive, supportive presence in the lives of others, the more likely you are to attract and maintain healthy, fulfilling relationships. Relationships are one of the most important aspects of life, and with the wisdom of Stoicism, you can navigate them with more clarity, peace, and joy. It's all about loving deeply, respecting others, and maintaining your own inner peace in the process. If you found this video helpful, please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing to the channel.